Here we are at Sperm Point, the start of our journey up the east coast. In this series we head from Spurn Point all the way up the coast until we get to Redcar and South Gare. What a fabulous beach to start this adventure.
In this first episode we begin our journey at Spurn Point and Easington. I visit the historic Kilnsey Sound Mirror and take a trip to the Spurn Discovery Centre. Check in at Sandlewood campsite, home for the evening, take a walk into Easington and have a look around, a wander to the beach, get absolutely shocked. I then get wet through, check out the pub. The next day, embark on a safari down Spurn Point and go up Spurn Lighthouse. So hop on board and come along for the trip.
LeisureBit is the way to go with David, Rachel and Roxy. Let's hit the road and explore.
Over 40 years ago, I remember coming here to begin a journey to where we're heading today. This is Darlington and we're off to just outside of Hull. Come with me, let's go and check it out. We're not going on the train.
We'll pick up our journey heading towards the Humber Bridge on the motorway after a stop off in Grimsby to check something out. We'll cover that in another video. There's a toll for crossing the Humber Bridge. I got charged £1.50.
Stop my truck midway to the motorway station. Fairlane was coming up on the left-hand side.
It's just under 30 miles from the Humber Bridge to Easington.
When it rained, little young lady started stitching her ride. And it's a 2, 4, 6, 8, and too late.
In the centre of Easington there was an awful lot of police cars, and I noticed the police were at some people's doors.
Number what line? Motorway sun coming up with the morning light. Whiz kid sitting pretty in a two-wheel stallion. This old 10-ton lorry got a beat on you.
I've parked up at the wetlands, which is just outside of Kilnsey, down that way, and we're going to go and find a sound mirror. It's Saturday the 7th of June. I had a pleasant journey here. Handy little area there to watch the birds. There's a helicopter over there. Looks like it's going down to land somewhere. The Kilnsey Sound Mirror is a scheduled ancient monument. The sound mirror here in Kilnsey, or acoustic mirror, was built during the First World War. It was used before radar was invented so that you could actually hear approaching aircraft. The Kilnsey Sound Mirror is only one of 4 remaining in the north of England, and it is the only one to retain the metal post where the microphone was fitted. How about that? Kilnsey Sound Mirror. I'm pleased we stopped off to check that out. Piece of history there. Now approached King Charles III English Coastal Path. The area's full of wildlife. There's some fantastic things you can see here. Look at these sheep, not seen those before. Interesting horns. There's lots of these viewing screens as well. Really handy if you want to watch the wildlife. If you want to visit the sound mirror yourself, you can park in the Wetlands car park. You follow this track from the car park round here and then follow the field up there. And then there's a cut across to the sound mirror. You can actually see it in the distance there. Well worth stopping off and checking it out. You can also walk for miles and there's lots of wildlife to see too. That's perfect timing. It's just started raining.
Onward now, let's head through Kilnsey and on to the Spurn Discovery Centre. If you're looking for somewhere to stay in Kilnsey, there are a couple of club certified sites, certified locations. I believe you can also stay at the Crown and Anchor pub. You do have to contact them in advance to check.
Never too late. Just me and my radio drumming on through the night. 3, 5, 7, 9, the white line.
Parked in the Spurn Discovery Centre car park. Let's go and check that out. Dogs aren't allowed on certain parts of Spurn. This area's fine. around here, but not past. And parking is £5. Unfortunately, I haven't brought Roxy this time. Rachel and Roxy are joining us next Friday.
I'm meeting back up with David on Friday afternoon after I finished work at Redcar.
The Spurn Discovery Centre's open daily from 10 AM to 4 PM. There's a Spurn Safari there you can join. That's cracking, isn't it?
I decided to go on the Spurn Safari as it sounded great, and that's coming up later in the video.
Suitable for mobility vehicles.
I'd say the best advice for people visiting Spurn would be to check before you come, just to double check about the drive times, because you do get breaches on the whatsoever, so there'll be an hour and a half each side of a high tide you won't be able to cross sometimes. But also double check about bringing your dogs, because dogs aren't actually allowed at the top.
Absolutely cracking view out the window there in the cafe. Treat myself to a latte as well. Thank you very much.
There are toilets available at the Discovery Centre.
There's a track up there to avoid the steps that just curves round and comes in at the other end of the cafe. Well worth stopping off and checking out. Spurn Discovery Centre, with lots to do around here and lots of amazing walks and wildlife. Canal Scrape pillbox. Pillboxes are so called because of the shape and are a common sight along the east coast of Britain. Several can be seen around Spurn and now represent an important part of its heritage. There you have, pillbox. I would imagine it wasn't so overgrown when it was in use.
We'll now make our way back to the van, and then we're going to head en route over to the campsite we're staying at tonight. The campsite's in Easington. We passed it on the way in actually, and we will head there now and then go and get the van parked up, and then I think we'll have a wander into Easington after that.
And here I am at Sandlewood certified location in the village of Easington near Hull. On arrival you check in at the house, which is where the reception is. As it's a Caravan and Motorhome Club certified location, the site has 5 pitches. It cost me £30 for one night, and that's for a hard standing pitch, and that includes a 10 amp electric hookup. There's a toilet and shower, washing up sink, rubbish and recycling. The shower, reception's through there, and you check in on arrival. The toilet, drinking water, and the chemical emptying point. There's also another toilet and shower here,
And that has another 2 toilets and a shower.
plenty of facilities for the site, so 2 separate shower and toilet areas. And as an added bonus, the pitch even had my name on it. How about that? That's good, isn't it? You may have noticed that there's been quite a lot of police around. Unfortunately, a local man's gone missing. He went missing on Wednesday, apparently. Let's hope they find him. It's been about 40 years since I was last in Easington. Used to visit fairly regularly, as had an aunt from here called Madge. What a lovely memorial. An old millstone. This phone kiosk is the K6 model, often referred to as the Jubilee model. It was designed by Sir Giles Gilbert Scott in 1935 to commemorate the Silver Jubilee. It's a list of all the names that who've donated to. Picked up a leaflet there on the Heritage Trail. This is All Saints Church in Easington, believed to be on a Saxon foundation. I remember when I came and stayed here as a really young lad, and I remember the bells used to ring in the church. I remember looking out over that barn as well. That's not changed much. It's fantastic to see it's still here. This has decayed quite a lot in that time. It's the Easington Heritage Trail. And here's another one of Easington's pubs, the White Horse. It's great to see that still here too. Easington Community Hall's a new building. Remember this as well. Phone boxes are certainly popular here. There's another one in the garden there. AD 1857, the old Wesleyan chapel. It's an interesting statue. Let's make our way now down towards the beach. There's plenty of caravan sites and places to stop over in the area. From the conversation I had, they haven't been too busy. So if you fancy a last minute breakaway, it's worth checking out, especially if you can't get anywhere else. It is a beautiful area to explore and one that's changing. Head down that way to the Spurn Discovery Centre. Fortunately, a lot of the roads are closed this way towards the beach. You might be wondering why all the roads are closed this way. Due to coastal erosion on the east coast, with this area being particularly impacted, people have lost their houses and their livelihoods as the sea's washing away gradually the coastline. Could see that starting to happen many years ago when I was here, but apparently it's got significantly worse still. So let's go and take a look. Cliff collapse. Road closed. So that's where the road ends. That used to go way out, absolutely way out there. Unbelievable. That is the end of the road. It's been eroded away. Take a wander along here, see if we can get down. Yes. Found a nice way down, much safer than that other route. Along there you can see a pillbox that's dropped into the sea. It's quite staggering actually how much this has changed. We're talking tens of metres. Where I'm standing now was once filled with earth, and the road that runs above there reclaimed by the sea and gone forever. You can see the services in the soil from where the caravans used to be here. It's really shocking. This trip's something I've always wanted to do, and that's to go all the way around the coastline of the British Isles. I'd also like to come back in 10, 15 years time, fingers crossed, and have a look again and see what's changed since we last took a look. And I think it's going to be a lot. I'm absolutely blown away by how much this has changed in the past 40 years. It's still a very beautiful place and it's still got a nice feel to it, but it's changing. That sky's looking a bit moody now. I think I'm going to head back down into the village. Absolutely lashing down.
Absolutely wringing wet. I stopped off at the Granby.
Absolutely soft there.
Thank you so much to them as well for looking after me and getting me a towel so I could dry myself off. Had a couple of drinks and got some fish and chips.
Well worth checking out. Very tasty fish and chips. And a well-earned break after that shower. Although I think a shower was an understatement. I got absolutely soaked through. It's been a lovely evening stay. You do get a little bit of noise for the road behind, but it's been pretty quiet overnight and it certainly didn't disturb me. Plenty of green space as well. Such a shame though I'm the only one on the site. Definitely worth checking out, and a lovely lady as well that owns it. Thank you very much for a cracking stay. Anyway, let's crack on. Here we are at the Spurn Discovery Centre in the car park. It costs £5 to park for the day in here, and you get your ticket at the moment in the Spurn Discovery Centre, which I'm going to go and collect in a minute and then display it in the windscreen. I've actually booked on a safari in an old military vehicle which lasts 3 hours from 11 till 2. It's a lovely sunny day today. So this is the thing I've booked onto: explore the iconic Spurn National Nature Reserve aboard our Unimog. I bought my parking ticket. I'm going to go and pop that in the van window.
I booked the ticket online and it said to meet at the Spurn Discovery Centre. However, the Unimog actually departs from the other side of the gate at the start of the Spurn. The road at Sperm Point was dramatically washed away during a major tidal surge on the 5th of December 2013. The surge breached the narrowest part of the peninsula, destroying the road that once connected the mainland to the tip of the Spurn, making it a tidal island. Yorkshire Wildlife Trust has adapted by offering Spurn Safari tours in specially equipped 4x4s that can handle this terrain, but even these are tide dependent.
I'm so pleased I didn't decide to come down here on the bike. Going across that sand would have been a nightmare, and it's quite a long way. It was a bit bouncy even going across in the Unimog.
There's interesting caterpillars and moths at the end of the Spurn.
Stop and give a signal. If you gave the right signal, they let you through. You'll see one of them, and then as we walk round, you'll see the second one.
The current lighthouse was built to replace the older towers in 1895. It stands 39 metres, or 128 feet tall, and was painted in distinctive black and white. It was decommissioned in 1985 due to advances in navigational technology.
So this is the remains, but that one is a brown tail. So those are the ones that can cause you to itch.
After decades of disuse, the Yorkshire Wildlife Trust restored the lighthouse in 2016, making it accessible to the public. And you can now climb to the lantern room for panoramic views and explore historical displays inside. It's considered the tallest lighthouse in Yorkshire, and its Victorian architecture makes it stand out as a landmark.
Better luck next time. I've made it to the top of Spurn Lighthouse, and you can see for miles. See the ships coming in the Humber estuary. What a cracking visit to Spurn Lighthouse, it's well worth checking out.
The visit to the lighthouse was included as part of the Spurn Safari, but there's the prices for when it's open if you want to visit it on its own.
That was the Spurn Lighthouse. We're now heading back to the Unimog and we're going to carry on our trip along Sperm Point.
As we move towards the end of the point, we start to come across a lot of old buildings. There's an old lifeboat station and pier down here. There's also all of the old military buildings as well. Really fascinating to see. A lot of these have been taken over by Yorkshire Wildlife Trust, and over the years I'm sure they'll get developed further, but a lot of them unfortunately have been condemned. It's really fascinating to take a look around. I was hoping to be able to go on the pier, but unfortunately it's closed off. The radar station here used to be full of people. It's now fully automated.
And if you're tall, mind your head. If you've got big feet, you might want to turn them sideways. Apart from that, everything's good. Now here's our electric cables. I think they're fascinating, but maybe that's just me. I would advise if you touch them, you can touch them, it's not live anymore, but you will need to wash your hands before you eat, which is good advice anyway. And those would have come along here, these bits of wood, because they're repeated. It was basically First World War trunking. Ooh, there's one of the wobbly bits. And another.
It was interesting going through the tunnel, but it was a lot darker than it looked there.
I feel sorry for them. Oh, what are you doing?
It was absolutely fascinating looking at all of the old buildings and all the different things that had been there. This place would have been alive with activity at one point in time, and now it is slowly being reclaimed back to nature.
They like everything over here. But as the brown tails did. And how much they've actually navigated these waters, what held it in place, and the track here was for loading the shells. Very similar to the other one, but no tunnel.
It's an old searchlight.
Here we are at Sperm Point.
There was lots of interesting fossils to be found on the beach.
You do find sea glass on here, you do find pottery, bits of brick.
It's been an absolutely cracking trip and well worth just under £30 that I paid for it. It's been really interesting to see. I'm so pleased I decided to go along on it. I'll pop a link in the description, so if you fancy doing this, you can easily find where to check it out.
We'll leave the beach here and head up back along the track, and there's more buildings to explore along here. There's so many different things in this place. It's amazing.
Really fascinating looking at the remains of this. Obviously a lot of it's unsafe now. I was hoping we'd get to go on the pier. Unfortunately, that's been condemned. Having a look in the buildings, unfortunately, there's danger asbestos signs up, so we can't go in there either.
We'll make our way back along the Spurn now and back to the car park. You can see the low-level lighthouse there on the left-hand side. Apparently, it's full of pigeons.
Please wait here for the safari. Don't forget you need to come down here to join it if you are going on the safari.
Head back to the van now and on to our next destination. We're heading up to Withernsea. Don't forget to join us next time for that one.